We're live.
Yeah, we are live. Wow, this is exciting. This is very, very exciting.
Am I the first guest?
You are the first guest.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love being a goddamn guinea pig for fucking people's projects.
You were the first person.
I'm like the determining factor if this is going to be good or
exactly,
shit.
Exactly. People are going to watch the first episode and then they're going to be like, oh man, if this first episode is shit, then like, I'm not going to watch
Andy,
the rest of it.
we love the idea. Never bring that guy back. That's what they're going to say.
Damn, yeah. So yeah, we met. I bought a jacket off you. That was
how long did it take to schedule a meetup? Like a month, right?
Yeah. But the thing was, like, the thing that really, like, I don't know. You told me, you were like, oh, you're the only guy on Facebook Marketplace
with a fucking personality. That's what I said.
Right? And I was like, oh my god. And then when I met you, I was like, oh, this guy's pretty outgoing. So when I thought about this podcast stuff, I was like, oh, you know what? I bet he would be an interesting person to bring onto the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So what was your first impression of me?
Like, I don't know, pretty early on, like even before we met face to face, when we were just texting, I was just like, this. I would hang out with this guy.
Oh.
I would do like artistic projects with this guy probably.
Yeah. And now we're here.
He's got a good energy. Like, you know, let's see, within last year, how many Facebook marketplace meetups have you gone on, or even try to like organize?
One. Yeah. It's very like when people try to buy something from you, they're very like short answers, right? Is this available? Yes, no.
Yeah.
And most of the time, people don't even like show up, right? They don't respond. They don't follow up. They don't like
respond. They don't try. They leave you on red.
Yeah.
When you have a simple like question that you need answered about the product or a meetup time or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You were the first guy to give me an LOL, and I was like, all right, cool. this guy's chill.
Yeah. And when I met you in person, right?
Yeah.
You were like, oh, I don't even remember what the price for the thing was, right? Yeah. And I was like, I could totally just like lie right now.
You could have scammed me.
I could have scammed you. I could have been like, oh, just give this guy. But I was like, no, I had the money. You know, I looked at it beforehand, and I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty chill. But like, so I wanted to talk to you because you're in acting, right? And I know that Vancouver has a very like big, like it's like an indie film community, you know, actor kind of vibe here. And I've always wanted to know what goes on behind the scenes when you're an actor. Like, is it really hard to get gigs? Do you have to, I mean, you sound like you have like a second job that complements the main one, right?
Yeah.
Like how does that all work? Like, run me through it.
Man. How it works is such a broad question. I can just answer my experience. Mm-hmm. But
do it.
Based on like when I've had conversations with other actors around Vancouver, like everyone's just kind of on their own journey, their own like walk of life per se, within this industry, trying to just navigate it in their own way. So I know a lot of friends who have like their own production companies that they just do like non-union projects and stuff like that, and just fucking around with that. Just to be creative, just to keep their shit going, because the phone's not going to ring all the time, and when it's not, like, it's up to you to make your own art, or you can just laze around like I've been doing, just do nothing. So how I got started was I was like, this was in late 2018, and I was just lying around in bed, and I was just like, man, if I don't try to do this now, like, life's just gonna pass me by, and suddenly I'm 30 years old and working a job I don't like, So it was like probably 3:00 in the morning. I can't fall asleep. I flip up on my phone, go on YouTube, how to be an actor. I literally typed that like that, and then I watched a bunch of videos just to like gain information, and I wrote down the things that were possible for me to do. Yeah. And within that year, from that year to like mid 2019, I pretty much achieved the 10-step whatever I set for myself.
Oh wow!
So it was basically everything has to lead up to getting an agent, because I was nowhere. I knew nothing about anything, right? Yeah. And so a lot of people were telling me, oh, do student films, audition for student films. Even if they turn out bad, no one's gonna see them anyway, so it doesn't matter. Just use them as practice and as demo. Try some background acting gigs, so you can watch like actual, actors on a set while also being part of a thing, just to see them like, up close like that. What else did I write for myself?
So you 2018.
Yes.
And then you said mid-year 2019. So within a year and a half, you kind of achieved what you set yourself out to do.
Yeah.
how did that start? Like, why were you graduated at this point? Like why did you decide to go down this path?
I wasn't happy after my second year of college. I wasn't happy with where I was.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay.
But for context, what did you do in college? Like what?
I studied music therapy.
Music therapy.
Yeah, I studied music therapy. So music theory, music history, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just the very things that turn me off about school is it just seems like a money grabbing business to me in certain programs, right? Yeah. Like if you want to become a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, of course go to school. That's what you have to do, right? But if you want to be a musician, actor, I don't think you need it. I don't think you need it. And what really turned me off about my second year is the addition of random electives that doesn't have anything to do with jack shit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not even that. Just like we were supposed to only take one history course, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly, Capilano changed the curriculum, the syllabus. Oh, you have to take one more. Okay, if I give them another bone, they're just gonna keep taking.
Yeah.
You give these fuckers
Next
an
year's
inch,
gonna be
they
two,
take a
you
mile.
know? Like, yeah.
So I'm like, after second year, I was like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm just throwing away, money on things that like, oh man, I don't really love this anymore.
Yeah.
So, and of course, the conversation with the parents about dropping out of college.
Yeah. That was my next question. Right. Asian parents, right? It takes a lot of courage to do something like that because a lot of I know friends who they keep on going. They keep on going even though they don't like it because the parents, because of the expectations, the approval, all that stuff. So yeah.
I was ready to be kicked out of my house, man. I was ready. I was fucking ready. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. I can't do it. If you want to kick me to the curb, figure it out my own, fine. I'll be an actor, figure it out my own. Like that's just what I want to do, right? Yeah. And so it was a really difficult conversation with my dad, especially. Mm-hmm. Like my mom's a little more lenient in like, as long as you make money, eventually go for it. My dad understands nothing about it. Mm-hmm. He thinks, oh, you got to be like, you're not Will Smith, kid. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you don't have to be like, So he's like, okay, draw me up a plan and complete at least like 80% of that plan within a year, and then I'll believe you. Yeah. And that's what I fucking did.
And that's what you did. Oh my God, let's fucking go.
I auditioned. I submitted myself for every fucking thing I could. Any student audition, any indie, whatever it is, right? Yeah. I booked 6 projects. Only 4 of them gave me my demo. 2 of them kind of scrapped and never got back to me. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. I did a play called Bear Witness. We performed it in North Vancouver. Yeah. In this like smaller, fun little theater company. I played the lead, Nikki Sharp. It's a Bear Witness is a story about it takes place in like the 1920s. Gangster America, New York. This kid that just wants to make it big. Have you seen the movie Goodfellas?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's kind of like that. This guy that just wants to be hot shit, and so he does bad stuff, but not necessarily. He's not necessarily a bad person, but he just wants the street cred, Yeah. So that was my character, and from that, one of my co-stars was pretty close friends with who I think is like the top G agent in Vancouver. Yeah. And he was like, "Hey, I'm having lunch with this guy. Yeah. You want me to say something?" And I'm like,
"Weigh in, yeah."
Andrew, yes, I want you to say something. Holy shit, right? Yeah. So the next week rehearsals roll around. Andrew, I'm like waiting for Andrew to tell me some good news, right? And he goes, "Yeah, so I talked to my guy, and I told him about you, and then his only response was, as long as he's not a white guy. I got enough of those." And I'm like, great. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And after the play happens, I get all my materials together. I get new headshots done. Yeah. I put together the best resume I got. Like it's nothing. It's bare bones. Nothing professional, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. I put together my demo reel, and from all the student films that I booked, they were all comedic roles because that's my forte. I only was able to book those roles. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, I gotta get something dramatic in there. So I had my friend just shoot at my house like a quick like dramatic scene from one of my favorite shows, Shameless. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we cut that together. I stuck that at the front just so I could like show my best work, Yeah. And that was that. Like I emailed him the most professional looking email, cover letter, everything. And I get a reply. are you free Tuesday? Sent from iPhone. I was like, oh, this guy's cool.
Yeah,
this guy's
yeah,
chill.
yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, meet up Tuesday morning, roll into his office, and I'm super fucking nervous.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I've never been in an office this nice before. Holy shit, where am I? What am I doing, right? And I meet the guy, shake hands. I tell him my story. He tells me his and how he got started and stuff like that. And he told me, so Jeremy, if you your headshots were horrible. You have no professional credits on your resume. And I was like, okay.
Blunt honesty. Mm-hmm.
But if that's all you sent me, I wouldn't have even replied. But then I saw your demo reel and I said, man, this kid can really act. And that sent my heart flying, dude. I almost cried when he said that.
Yeah.
And by the end of the conversation, he was like, okay, so we doing this or what? And I was like, okay, let's do it. So, and he signed me on the spot. And that was in October 2019. Yeah. And I got to go on 2 in-person auditions for TV shows, and then the world shut down because COVID, right?
Oh, yeah.
So ever since then, when things became more okay and the industry was opening back up again, everything just stayed on self-tape, and which kind of gave more of an opportunity for actors in Canada, I think, to book roles that take place in like LA or London or wherever, right?
What does self-tape mean? Does that mean you're just recording yourself and you're sending it for auditions?
Yeah.
Okay. And then like, what is the significance of having an agent? Is it just like someone who with a stronger voice who can represent you to other companies? Is that what they're
It's
there for?
It's pretty much that. Like, even if you're Andrew Garfield, you still need an agent. You know, like you can. Once you have like your own name, you can try to do whatever. But like it just helps to have that like structure and organization, right? Because you can't do everything yourself. Once you become a brand like that, they want you only to focus on your acting, your craft, and that's it. We'll take care of the bookend stuff for you, so you're not like divided into too many fucking areas, right? Like even CEOs need fucking assistants and stuff like that, right?
Of course, yeah. Because it's like where you allocate your time almost.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about that for a long time. I was like, what the fuck do I need an agent? But like, no, bro, you need one. Trust me, you need one. Yeah. You need an agent. Eventually, I want to get a manager too, just to like really, take hold of my career and help me out with that. Yeah.
So ever since you've gotten an agent, have your gigs been more consistent? Like, how does that work with that? And then there's like the acting thing, and then there's also your other part-time job, I'm assuming, on the side, right? Like, how does that all play together?
So before I had an agent, I wasn't. There's no chance. If you don't have an agent, you can't audition for anything, TV, film, nothing. Yeah. Commercial, forget it. Like maybe you can. Like there's a website, eBoss Canada. You can submit yourself, but they're gonna look at actors with agents first, like always. So that's the difference between having an agent and not. Especially if you're like green like me and no one fucking knows you and no one cares about you. You need an agent. Yeah. Right. No one's gonna take you seriously. But the balancing act of, so I have a film and TV agent, which is like the top G I was telling you about. Yeah. And then I have my commercial agent, which is a top G in her own right. She's fucking great. Like,
so you have multiple.
I have 2.
You have multiple. Okay, wow.
And I've booked with my commercial agent 3 times so far, and it's been great. We all have a great relationship. I would like to have like a closer relationship with them, I guess. Like, but I feel like for me, I have to book more. I have to show that I'm that I'm worth their time.
That you're
first.
Worthy.
Exactly. I don't feel worthy yet. I've done 3 jobs and that's it. But I feel like I need to do more before I can like even talk to them as like equals, which is so stupid. Yeah. Because technically we're like almost business partners. Like we work together. This is a symbiotic relationship. Yeah. But I'm just weird in that way where I feel like I have to prove myself first. Yeah. And in balancing a part-time job, I feel like every actor starting out needs to do something, right? And so,
because it sounds like it's not consistent. Like you almost need that to stay alive. Yeah, right? To pay your rent, for bills, all that stuff. Yeah.
Like you get a big paycheck, but then that goes in like a few months, Yeah. So you need that like supplementary income for sure.
You seem very, I guess, driven, right? Like not a lot of people would face some form of I don't really like this about university and then just drop out.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas like you kind of did that and then you're like, no, I want to do my own thing. And then, you know, your parents were a bit against it, but then you put together a plan and then you showed them that you actually achieved what you set out to do.
Yeah.
Have you always been this way, or was this created through, you know, your want to do more?
I've always been driven by the shit that I want. Yeah. Like, I've never been strong in academics whatsoever. Like, my best year was grade 7.
Oh, wow.
Don't ask me why.
Yeah.
It just was.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just cared that year. But then after that,
yeah.
you know, I just...
Yeah. But why music? I didn't even know music therapy was a thing. I've heard of it, but I didn't know you could go to school for it. Why music therapy to acting, though? Like, what,
That's a really good question. Well... there's too much to go into, but I sort of tricked after high school. I sort of tricked my dad into giving me a gap year, because he wanted me to go to college straight away and just do general courses, and I'm like, why the fuck would I do that shit? That's high school all over again, but harder. Why would I do that? You know? So I was like, oh wait. How about I improve my high school transcript and I apply to UBC. Sound good?
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, that sounds good. I didn't fucking do it.
What did you do instead?
So I took some many courses for like a couple months.
Yeah.
And then I said, fuck it. I looked at a Douglas College brochure, a Langara College brochure. I looked at courses and I saw, oh, music therapy. That's interesting. I've always kind of been interested in, you know, helping people in the psychiatry kind of way.
Yeah.
And I'm also a musician, so I was like, oh, that goes hand in hand. Let's try that, you know?
Yeah.
First year in college was one of my favorite years in Vancouver. I met so many amazing people, talented, driven, and just open-hearted, you know?
Yeah.
I met my best friends for in college in the first day. Like, it was ridiculous.
Wow.
Like, it felt like, have you seen the show Community?
No, I have not.
Ah, dude.
Yeah. I feel like I'm underprepared for this.
I
need to watch more shows.
You gotta watch more TV, man. I got some recommendations, but no, it really reminded me of that show. Do you know Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dan Harmon also created Community, and his writing is I love Dan Harmon's writing. It's brilliant. There's this group of 7 misfits just found each other, and they're in a Spanish study group, and they just stay friends, and they keep.
Well, wasn't there that like really really old show that was like The Breakfast Club? Is that what it's called?
That's a movie.
Yeah. There was like an old club that when you say 7 misfits, that reminds me of that. Like I think it's called that. Yeah,
it is called Breakfast Club.
Yeah, it was recommended to me by a friend, but I watched the trailer, but I haven't actually seen it.
It's like
yet.
you should stop watching trailers. Just watch the movie. If there's one thing,
watch the movie.
If there's one thing I love doing, it's going into a movie blind, like not knowing jack shit about it, and watching it and just experiencing like life happening. You know.
Yeah.
Too many people are wrapped up in like, oh, I gotta read about this. No, don't read about nothing.
But like sometimes, you know, it's like I want to know if something's worth my time. You know, like I've gone in.
Just ask me.
I'll hit you up, yeah. Because I've gone into shows on Netflix and I'm just like I watched the first like 10-20 minutes and I'm just like, man, this is kind of boring. It's kind of bad.
What's the last thing you watched that was like, what the fuck is this?
Why this shit on Netflix? The School of Good and Evil. It's a show on Netflix.
I haven't even seen it.
It sounded cool, but no.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, Wednesday, the first episode, I kind of like pushed through it, but the rest was really good. Like the acting was phenomenal by the lead. It was good.
Yeah, I think I'm on like episode 6 or something like that.
Yeah. Would you say that watching TV shows is almost like research? Like, do you view it as like a productive hobby?
I do now.
Yeah.
Now that I've read now that I've been to acting classes and I have the tools to analyze things and stuff like that. I like subconsciously just reverse engineer everyone's performance now. It doesn't happen all the time. Like sometimes I'm just immersed in the world and I can enjoy myself still. Like when I'm watching Marvel films, I'm like just get high and enjoy the ride, right?
Yeah.
But when I'm watching Wednesday, I'm actually doing a character study analysis essay on Wednesday right now, just because I find her character so compelling.
Yeah.
And I've always been familiar with the Addams Family, but Jenna Ortega just brings something special to the table.
Yeah,
she really does.
Have you seen the like the breakdown of like they interviewed her? And
I haven't seen any interviews.
Yeah, I watched one of the interviews, and she said that her friends, when they saw like she was always described as that person.
Oh, really?
And then so she almost got scouted in a way, and I think they rewrote parts of it for her to match her personality. And I didn't know this was a thing. Like when I got into Vancouver Asian Film Festival, there's a lot of like Asian American themed like plays or things happening here in Vancouver, and I've gotten into it. And in one of the shows that I went to, it was a film. I think this was VAF, the Vancouver Asian Film Festival. It was the opening show, and they had almost like a Q&A session with the director afterwards. And she said that for one of the scenes, when she was scouting for actors, one of the actors knew how to ice skate pretty well, actually. So she rewrote one of the ice skating scenes to use that, right? Like, he like hockey stopped and they snow sprayed the other character, and it was a romantic show, right? So like really worked out. And I was like, I didn't know that was even a thing. I didn't know that people rewrote parts of the script to match like actors. And I was like, that's so cool, because that's so it better complements like the actor and the script.
Yeah. I love it when that happens.
Yeah.
Like stories like that just it gets me going. Like, it's so cool that you wanted someone so bad to stay in your show, you rewrote the whole thing just to keep them. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know?
I feel like you're gonna die a little on the inside when I tell you this, but
okay.
I have not watched it in full.
That's fine.
I have watched it via clips on YouTube, so I know what happened. I know the entire storyline, but I have not watched it.
Oh, I didn't think you were gonna say that. I didn't think you were gonna say that. Oh, God. Andy, you seem like a busy guy.
I don't have time, man. I don't have time. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, the role of Jesse Pinkman was he was supposed to die within the first 3 episodes.
Oh my God.
But Vince Gilligan loved Aaron Paul's performance so much.
Yeah.
He made him a main character after just seeing him like on set.
Yeah.
Like, I love this guy. I have to keep him.
Yeah.
It just became Jesse, Jesse and Walt. It wasn't like that before.
Yeah. Did you ever? So I asked you about like why you wanted to go into acting, right?
Yeah.
Was that just because, like, why? I can't remember if you answered that.
I did not.
You did not. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I answered that. I feel like I've always been interested in acting. Like, I was always part of some sort of whether it be like high school production or musical theater or something like that within the school grounds. I stopped in middle school. I was more into like punk rock band shit. So I would do battle of the bands and dive in musically and stuff like that. And my love for acting came back when I moved to Vancouver. Actually, in Vancouver, I did my last 2 years of high school here. And the particular school I went to had a really strong student body in terms of like people who wanted to artistically express themselves. So like we had a shit ton of dancers. Yeah. We had so many singers. Yeah. Like, I thought the kids at my school in Vietnam were talented. No.
Yeah.
The Filipinos at Gladstone can fucking sing. Like, you don't understand. Like, they were doing riffs and runs and shit. I was like, I've never seen this in my life. Yeah. It's crazy talented. And then I wasn't able to join theater company in grade 11 because I joined the school late, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I joined in grade 12, and it was a great time. It was a really, really great time. Yeah. And it's funny because like from that, I thought I was hot shit. I thought my performance was amazing.
Yeah.
And going back to like starting my journey in 2019, right? I auditioned for a bunch of stuff. I didn't book nothing. And so I was like, okay, let's take an acting class. And it was only after I studied at this place called Railtown that I understood like what acting really meant. Because there's a misconception of like, and this can best be illustrated when I sit down and play poker with my friends, because they're like, oh, Jeremy's an actor. Oh my God, he's going to beat us all. Like, no. Yeah. Completely different skill set. Yeah. Poker is bluffing and lying and being in control of the game that way. Mm-hmm. Acting is finding truth in every word you say. Except for if your character is lying.
Yeah. I see. So you're saying, it sounds to me like you're saying how to be a good actor is, I feel like the perception people have of acting is it's fake, right?
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you're saying in order to make it real, you have to almost do a little connect the dots and find, like you said, truth in what you're saying, even though it's not like real per se. Yeah.
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 You gotta do your best to like tell a story, make the audience feel things. Like it's not your job as an actor to feel anything, but if feeling things while you're performing a scene helps you to really make your performance as realistic as possible and make the audience feel things, then you're doing a great job, I think.
How do you do that? Like, have you come up with like a process on how to do that?
I have.
That sounds hard, my guy. That's
it's
not like
extremely difficult.
Like, you don't just wake up with that.
No, you don't. I had to train for many months before I even understood like how to even but do that authentically.
How do you train? Like what do you like well, you look in the mirror and you're like, okay, I gotta, or like you record yourself and you're like, that wasn't convincing enough. Like, what does that mean?
Well, there's so you can tackle an audition so many different ways. For me, if it's emotionally driven, I need to okay, let's say, I don't know, my dog died and I have to really be sad about that my dog died, right?
Yeah.
There's different exercises you can do to get yourself in there. Well, the first one, I really like it. It's called relaxation.
Yeah.
And it's basically you sitting in a chair and just becoming limp. Close your eyes. No music, no nothing. Just close your eyes. Just be present with yourself, right? And kind of like start moving your limbs around one by one. Like everything else is still. Move your limbs around. Yeah. And believe it or not, there's tension in every part of your body, and each one of those like pieces of tension is emotionally charged somehow. I can't explain why or what.
Yeah.
But I've cried for moving my ankles before.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't get it still.
Yeah.
But I just know it works for me.
Yeah.
So that's what I do before an emotional scene.
That's so cool. Okay, so one of my interests is personal development.
Yes.
And there's this type of therapy called somatic therapy, where it's kind of like it's really focused on like the body. And I'm also a part of this thing called a men's group. Well, I left recently, but like the idea is you're with a bunch of people, you talk about life and problems and etc. And in one session that I had, I was asked to focus on the feeling of what is in my stomach, right? It's like, what are you feeling in your stomach, right? Like a common question that I was asked is like, what are you feeling right now emotionally? And then it's like, where do you feel that in your body? And I find this to be, when I was first asked it was a very odd question for me to process, because I'm like, what does that mean, right? Like, oh, you're sad. It's like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Right? Is it in your arm? Like, what does that mean? And so it eventually, it started making more sense. It's something that you kind of just have to like do like over and over. I'm sure, I don't know if you've had the experience, but in the session that I'm talking about, I really felt it in my stomach, right? It was like a dense ball in my stomach. And when one of the other men like asked me to focus on it, I just started crying. And it was weird.
Yeah.
So I can kind of relate, but like that's just so interesting. Because one of the things that I had questions on is, how do you become so convincing as an actor? Because and you've just kind of answered it, but there's a level of, I don't know, almost like mental manipulation that you have to do in order to achieve that. Because if you're not really embodying it, you're not convincing the audience. Most movies I watch, I'm not like, they're acting. You believe it, right? And so I've always had that question of how do you make it believable? Do you find that sometimes it's hard to separate, like when you're in character versus your actual life?
Yeah.
Do you, because you're practicing so often for that, right? Like, how do you keep it separate, or do you find that that's even an issue?
I haven't found that to be an issue yet, because after my audition and I send it out or whatever, because I haven't actually been on a job yet. Where it requires like that much of me.
Yeah.
I've been in plays like the most recent play I did was Viet Gone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so fun. It's about navigating a love life while fleeing a war-torn country. It happens during the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
The main character and myself, I'm his best friend, we flee, and we like, spoiler alert, we have to leave his kids and his wife behind.
Yeah. Oh,
Because we got to
damn.
fly to America to train and then do all this stuff. But no, it's satire. It's hilarious. There's like dick jokes everywhere,
Yeah.
and we talk about fucking a lot. And the primary audience was like old white people, so it was hilarious.
I see. Yeah. You said this was a play?
It was a play.
Okay, yeah.
was
So it
like
was
a play.
live.
Yeah. I don't think I ever. Maybe one night I was too in my feels and I took it home with me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't last that long. Like, at the end of the day, once you're done, you take off your costume and you're you again. And it's like I'll go into an example of what you just said of actors being unable to separate, and one really cool example is Aaron Paul as Jesse Pinkman. I think if I'm retelling this correctly, after shooting one day, what's his name? Bryan Cranston realized that
Who is the
Walt.
Walt? Okay.
The actor for
yeah,
Walt.
yeah,
He realized that
yeah.
the actor for Jesse was like still in costume and like kind of like didn't really shower and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh.
And he just kind of like, Aaron, we're done shooting. You can take off the costume. You can go home.
Yeah.
And Aaron was like, oh yeah, oh okay, because I think Aaron felt pressure of like booking such a huge job, being alongside such an amazing actor, Bryan Cranston, that he felt like he had to just stay in this world, otherwise he might lose it.
Yeah.
Right. So he would just stay in costumes, all sweaty and shit, bumming cigarettes off like homeless guys or whatever it is.
Wow.
He really got into the world of Breaking Bad, but it's like, no man, you can't break yourself to for your art.
Yeah.
You gotta take it off and go home.
Yeah. So, a great actor. So, the second question is, I don't know why I'm numbering them. So, soft skills. Third question. So, I work as a product manager.
Yeah.
And one of the things I faced is, I'm sure everyone faced imposter syndrome, right? But I've noticed that I was a dev, software dev before. And I noticed that
my girlfriend's a software dev. Small world.
Hey. Yeah. And I've noticed that maybe you can relate to this too, because you have that dynamic, that relationship. As a dev, it's kind of easy to level up, like, because hard skills, right? It's you learn this, and then you learn this, and then you learn more of this, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
But as a product manager, when I switched, I realized that there's a lot more soft skills involved, and it's a lot harder to keep track of progress when you were learning soft skills. And when you said like great actor, I'm like, what exactly does that mean? Because acting is really soft skills based. It's very like, can you get into the role? Can you do this? Can you do that? And so, have you ever felt, I guess, imposter syndrome or this lack of progress soft skills wise? Because it's very easy to compare yourself when you are in, like such a role. I'm sure Vancouver's competitive, right?
Yeah.
Like,
especially when you're in an acting class, and I know when you enter the doors of a black box and there's other students there, you gotta check your ego at the door, but it's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's hard. I'm always like looking at
what is a black box?
A black box is basically just the stage of most. You ever watched a theater show in your high school, and it's just like.
The stage is
the stage is black.
Yeah, okay.
Everything is black, just so you can better imagine things or whatever and do improv. That is a black box.
Okay.
But yeah, you gotta check your ego at the door, and I tell myself I'm going to, but then I just can't help but be like, oh man, that person was amazing.
Yeah.
Shit, what if I'm shit? Like those thoughts will always creep in my mind. I feel like no matter what. Sorry, what was your question?
The soft skills and progress.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what makes a great actor? Like, how do you know, you are progressing to that, in that direction, like to that level? Like
Maybe.
the level ups are not clear, right? If this was
Yeah.
a game, if you were to personify this as a game, right? As a dev, it's like, okay, well, you learn this language and then you learn more at this language. Maybe become an architect so you can build apps and stuff. But
Yeah.
as an actor, it's like, what are the levels?
Well, when you're in class, like I've pretty much like I should practice more. I definitely should practice more. But I remember everything I learned from Railtown, for example. And I'm in a film lab right now, which is basically almost like an audition class. Like you pick a scene and you do it, and they have a camera there, and they send you the footage after, and then you can review it. It's like that.
Yeah.
And the coach also gives you feedback. Like we film it twice, do it once, feedback, do it again, it's improved, hopefully.
Yeah.
Right. I felt that imposter shit that like I felt like my performance was trash last week. And I didn't realize this, but so one of my favorite things to do, and another really, I guess, strong point in why I wanted to be an actor is because I'm pretty well versed in accents and dialects, and like I can throw them out, at parties and pull them out of my ass and have fun or whatever, like I was drunk last night, and I turned Australian for some reason. I was filming people and acting a fool and all that. But I can do that. Ooh. But if I'm doing like a scene where on top of the accent, I have to be emotional. I have to this. I have to that. I have to pay attention to my. Yeah. I didn't realize how hard that was until last week. I was doing an English accent, which I always can do, and for some reason I couldn't. I was messing it up. Yeah. It was slipping, and I wasn't making eye contact with my scene partner. Yeah. Because I was thinking about so many fucking things. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So making that mind-body connection with so many different layers is something I have to work on. Mm-hmm. That's something I have to complete before I can level up as an actor.
It kind of sounds like a lot of it is also just experiences.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Like if you acted in this one scene before and it's similar to this other scene, then you're good to go. But if you haven't, then it might be a bit more difficult. Like, how do you approach something like that? Like, an example is, like, let's say, this one scene requires you to be super, super angry, but you're naturally not an angry person. You've never acted in an angry scene before. How do you,
So I'm actually the opposite. I'm really good at angry scenes. Yeah. I'm not good at, like, small, touchy scenes. Right? Yeah. And that was another layer why I fucked up last week. Yeah. Yeah, because that was a small, touchy scene. I just couldn't find the authenticity in it. There's a lot of work to be done before the camera flips on, and I could have done a lot more work, let's say. Yeah.
So it sounds like practice then.
Practice, practice, but not like if a certain type of practice is not working, switch it up, try something else. But always keep discovering and experiencing things. And finding out new things about the scene and your character, like don't be afraid to make weird choices. Like we call them choices because it's like we can only interpret a piece of paper so much. Yeah. Where sometimes there's no information at all. Sometimes it's like a 1-liner, 2-liner, or whatever. Yeah. You get to play. You get to choose whatever tone or whatever your character wants to say about it.
Yeah, but like I still don't understand how you practice it, right? Like I can small touchy scenes. I can see you like practicing with like a teddy bear or some shit and being like, oh, you got some furry skin there, my guy. I'm like, how do you? And then like anger, you just shout at yourself in a mirror, like
don't ever shout at yourself I mean, if it works for you, whatever. Yeah. But I've never done that. There's this exercise I learned at Railtown also called the light. It's difficult to do by yourself. Yeah. But once you practice enough and you find a word that can trigger a certain emotional state, like the 4 that we focus on are angry, sad, scared, happy, right? Like we only have 4 just so it doesn't overcomplicate things, because there's like little nuances in between the 4, sure. Yeah. But just so we have something easy to grasp onto, we use 4. Mm-hmm. My angry word's pretty easy. It's fuck you, go fuck yourself, right? Yeah. And usually that can get me in it. Yeah. I think my sadness lays in guilt. I think there's a lot of I don't it doesn't keep me up at night or anything like that. Yeah. But there's certain things that I think about that. Oh man, why'd I do that?
Whoa, yeah, yeah.
And I'm already feeling it, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I know. I can see.
you
I
see
was
my
like,
eyes
just
drop,
immediate tone shifts.
Like I'm already like, you know.
Yeah.
You know, happy. Just I just gotta think about Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
I love Bobby Lee. I start thinking of my girlfriend. I love my girlfriend. You know, stuff like that. You know, it's the power really lies in your imagination.
Yeah.
And notice when you were a kid,
Yeah.
your imagination ran wild because that's all you had. Right? You didn't experience certain things. Maybe you saw it on TV, but you didn't experience it yourself. So all you had was your imagination. Yeah. It's harder to tap into that as an adult because you just don't do that on a daily basis anymore.
Yeah.
You're reading a book, you're playing video games, you're at fucking work. You got shit to do.
Yeah.
I don't have time for fucking imagination. Yeah. Right? But as an actor, that's what you have to do. Yeah. Right. When I'm performing a monologue, let's say that's like angry, sad, or whatever it is, the specific language that you say, try to visualize it, because only then will your eyes light up or drop or be confused or anything. Yeah. And if your eyes don't do the things that you're saying, the audience is gonna believe you. So imagination is really strong. Another thing is like substitution. Right. Let's say the scene calls for you being, I don't know, you being heartbroken. If you've never been heartbroken before, okay, wait. Let's just say, oh yeah, you have to be heartbroken, or because you have to like, you got to kill your best friend. Let's say, you have to kill your best friend. Sure. Yeah. I've never been in a situation where I could kill my best friend. You know
I'd hope not.
So, let's use your past experiences which put you in a similar emotional state as you need to be as this character. So let's say when I was stood up at the school dance, that really hurt my feelings, right? Let's try that, and if it doesn't work, try something else. Try thinking about I don't know, when your pet died, or anything that won't like traumatize you. Don't think about your past trauma. That's not going to help you. It's dangerous to do that. You know, think about your past experiences, or if you're so connected to the language, go with it. But if you're not, substitution really, really helps with getting you to that place where you need to be.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of this stuff sounds like just tapping into your emotions, it sounds like, going back to the whole topic of leveling, you level up, you just have more tools. You have more experiences. Exactly. You're able to process a lot more things in parallel. That's what I noticed with dance too. If you ever tried like dance, I've taken hip hop classes before. The advanced hip hop classes, you're just doing more things in parallel. You're just doing things with your legs and also with your upper body, and you have to do both things. You know what I mean? It's like you're just stacking more things on top of things, and then it just gets faster. And so, damn. But that's kind of cool though.
It's really cool. It's really cool. It can be cathartic. It can be a lot of things, and I think it's beautiful. I'm so fucking happy I'm doing it. Like I'm learning so much about like just the world and myself, you know, and especially as like Asian men. Man, are we told not to feel things all our life, right? So it was extra hard for me to break out of that. And actually start like being okay with having feelings. Let's say.
Do you think that actors, because it seems like since you're tapping into this stuff, actors almost need to be self-reflective, or at least have some level of self-awareness, or even genuine? Because like when I met you, like my first impression of you was, this guy seems very real. Okay. And sometimes you walk around and you get different vibes of people, right? Like this person's more reserved, they're more shy, they're more closed off. This person's very open, this person's very extroverted. And the vibe that I got from you was, oh, he's extroverted, he's real. And I don't know if that comes with acting, or if that's just who you are naturally.
I feel like if you're in acting for the correct reason, and the only correct reason is that you love it, then you're a real person, and I'd probably want to be friends with you. Damn.
Because I've met
you meet some superficial motherfuckers, don't you?
No, that's not what I was gonna say. Well, that sounds like a story.
Well, because we all do. But
Mm-hmm. I've met one other actor, and she was not local, but she seemed very real, very like. So it's probably a bias, but my impression of actors right now is like, oh, they're very like real, because I'm like, these people need to be able to convince audiences, need to be able to shift into emotions like that, and do things that aren't like real per se, and I'm like. You gotta have some level of self-awareness, some level of emotional intelligence, at least to be able to do that, right? Because it's like if you're doing a sad scene, you need to know, you need to get into the sad, so you need to know what sadness looks like. And so I've always just found that interesting, because there's not a lot of other jobs out there that require that level of like, like that level of tapping into your emotions.
That level of like control.
Yeah.
Damn. No, that's a really, really good way to put it. I never really thought about like the level of self-awareness you need to have to be able to do this.
Yeah. Damn. So what's next?
What's next is
get another agent.
2023 this year. No, I have the best agent in the city. Like, what am I talking about? I literally have the best agent in the city.
That's crazy.
Unreal. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm
Congratulations,
so
by the way. It seems like you've gone. I feel like going back to the whole Asian men topic. This is gonna turn into an Asian men podcast.
Hey, we're Asian men. It was gonna come up eventually.
I feel like we don't. Us and also just in general, we don't like take the time to celebrate our wins, right? And so, congratulations, because I feel like you've done some crazy shit in the time that you've had to transition to a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
thank you, man. Thank you.
I hope you fully appreciate that, because like best agent in the city, and the commercial, is that the best agent in the city too?
I mean, they're in the same agency.
Okay.
So we're a fucking fantastic fucking team.
Then. Yeah, nice.
Like,
nice.
I've booked 3 jobs with Bridget. Yeah, she's fucking great. Yeah, she's a top G. Let's go.
Yeah.
100%.
Nice. So what? Any plans for 2023? Any?
Your boy is gonna get on TV this year.
Like a series. We're talking about a series.
Series.
Okay.
Yeah. Whether it be like an actor role or recurring, whatever it is, give me a line. I'll say that fucking line. I need more substance for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm still just getting started. We're in no hurry. I met so many, especially working in a restaurant, especially working at Joey Barra. There's so many actors that are my coworkers, but also actors and directors and producers that frequent our restaurant.
Wow.
Like,
okay.
Do you know Joel McHale?
No, I don't.
Do you know Cedric Yarborough?
No.
Anyway, these two, like, I'm big fans of theirs.
I'm bad with names, by the way.
That's
like,
fine.
my roommate is really good with names.
Yeah, you're bad with TV too. No, I get it.
Hey, yo, you almost snuck that past me. Hold on.
But just a lot of, like, I feel like I'm in the correct place where I need to be. And I met this guy. His name's Hamza. I met this guy, and I just had the greatest conversation with him on one of my shifts.
Yeah.
He told me, just practice your craft. Focus on your craft.
Yeah.
Who are your favorite actors? I named, like, I don't know, Jeremy Allen White, Steven Yeun, John Cho. Mm-hmm. What do they all have in common? They practice their fucking craft, don't they? And I was like, you're probably right about that. You're definitely right about that. Okay, I'm gonna practice my fucking craft. So this year, I'm gonna read more acting books. I'm gonna take my career a lot more seriously. I'm gonna practice my goddamn craft, because that's what. When he left my store, I thought I met Jesus. It was so unreal, the shit he was saying to me, and the way. No, but now that I know he's a real person, it's all good. We're friends now. But I thought it was Jesus, man. I thought it was Jesus. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Well, it sounded like he was speaking facts. Damn.
He was speaking facts, and like he was speaking in such a way that was like so, like, clear and guru-like at the same time.
Sound like he said it with a lot of conviction.
A lot.
Conviction. Yeah.
I didn't even know who he was. He didn't know who I was. He just randomly was like, "Hey kid, what's your goal? What do you want in life?" And I was like, "I want to be the most famous Vietnamese person in Hollywood." Yeah. That's what I said to him.
Yeah.
And he goes, "All right, let's get after it."
Yeah.
Practice your fucking craft.
Yeah,
and I was like, "You're an actor?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm an actor." I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
It was nuts. It's nuts, the people you meet. Just going about your fucking night.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So this year, my heart is going to be open. I'm gonna work a lot more on my craft. Read more books in general because they're just good for your brain. Yeah. Play a lot less Valorant.
Yeah.
And we're good to go.
Yeah. Nice.
That's the goal.
I can relate with the Valorant one.
Right?
Yeah.
What rank are you?
Yeah. Dude, I'm iron.
It's fun though. Who cares?
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah. I'm like, I think I deserve to be in silver, but like, I've just never had the time to like play ranked and like grind. Yeah. That's what I tell myself. That's what I tell other people.
Are you basically working like a 9 to 5?
Yeah, I'm working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But ever since I moved downtown, so for a bit of context, I get pretty easily addicted to games. It used to be like a problem. It still kind of is a problem to some degree. But ever since I moved downtown, I've just stopped playing games on my computer. Like just in general.
Nice.
There's just like so many other things to do downtown.
Yeah.
Like shit like this, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I play on the Wii, right? Which is, it might become a problem in a couple weeks, years, who knows?
A little bit of Mario Kart don't hurt anybody.
Yeah. But yeah, I can relate with that. But that's exciting. That's exciting. Having goals for 2023, that's hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want Tom Holland's ripped ass body. That's what I want too.
So you're gonna get jacked too.
I'm gonna get jacked.
Yeah.
Maybe not jacked, but like I want to be toned as fuck. Yeah, I want to be toned as fuck.
Yeah. Damn.
I should give myself that chance.
Yeah.
I've been trying for years.
Yeah. Like, if you need, let me know. If you ever want to talk, because I've been trying to get Fitness Arc.
Okay.
I've gotten into it, right? I've started bulking. I got like
you're into anime, huh?
There's like two bags of protein right there behind the camera.
Very nice. Yep.
Yeah. Used to watch a lot of anime, but not so much anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's the goal. I have protein. I'm ready to make those fucking milkshakes.
Yeah.
We're getting after it.
100%.
Eating a lot less fast. I mean, I ate so much fast food last year. Man. So much.
It's okay. Consistency, right? Like long run. What matters is the long run.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
More meal prep. More just taking control of my life. Getting rid of like bad habits and replacing them with better ones.
100%. Do you want to plug your socials before you go? Where can people find you? Do you have an acting socials, or is it just your
It's
main?
just my Instagram. Do you follow me? Do we follow
I do.
Okay.
Wait. I don't know. I think so. I don't know. I'll have to check.
Okay. You guys can follow me at Jeremy Gets By on Instagram. I also have my own podcast coming out with my my acting friend Ryan Anthony Kwok. So Ryan, I cheated on you today. I'm sorry, but this guy's cool, man. He's asking all the right questions.
Hey, man, how about like we all do a podcast together?
Yeah.
And then, it'll be mutual.
Ryan's fucking great. I love that guy. The podcast is called Pho Real. Because we're Vietnamese, and real because we're
I'm Vietnamese too, but I'm not an actor, so if you guys
You're Vietnamese?
Yeah, Vietnamese.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Lou, I couldn't figure out where that was from.
Yeah. There's like a apostrophe on the U.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's
very nice. It's not an apostrophe.
it's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a comma on the top. It's a thing. All right. That's cool, man.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So, any other socials? Anything else you want to plug?
No, that's it. Try find an Etsy Christmas commercial and a Zoom commercial of med students, and that's all I'm in so far.
Yeah. So when you get your first TV series, we'll have you back.
Oh yeah. We'll promote.
Yeah. And then you can plug that then.
Hell yeah. Appreciate that, man.
All right, cool. All right, that's the first pilot episode of the People Side podcast. Thank you for listening. This will be out on all platforms. I don't know, YouTube, Spotify, whatever it is, whatever kids listen to these days.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. I met you like once.
Yeah.
Show, and now we're here.
We're here, baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, man. This was fun.
Yeah. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.